This abandoned hospital hides a dark past. Chapter 1. The Arrival. The sky was cloaked in a heavy gray blanket as Emma Carter pulled up to the rusting gates of St. Augustine's Hospital. The wind whistled through the scalded trees lining the cracked asphalt drive, sending a chill through her bones. This was not just any building, it was a structure steeped in whispers, in rumors of screams echoing through the night, of inexplicable lights flashing through broken windows. It was a place avoided by locals, but for Emma, a freelance journalist with a penchant for uncovering urban legends, it was a goldmine. Her fingers trembled slightly as she adjusted her camera bag and stepped onto the hospital grounds. Once a proud and bustling facility in the early 1900s, St. Augustine's had fallen into decay after a series of patient disappearances in the late 70s. The state had quietly shut it down in 1981, citing budget issues. But the townsfolk knew better. They spoke of malpractice, of inhumane experiments, and of a wing that was sealed off overnight, never to be reopened. Chapter 2. The Echoes Within. Emma's boots crunched over shattered glass and dried leaves as she entered through a side door, its lock long broken. The interior was cloaked in shadows, broken only by the beam of her flashlight. Faded wallpaper peeled from the walls, and the air was thick with mildew. Her footsteps echoed eerily, and every creak of the floorboards seemed amplified, as if the building itself breathed. She started with the records room, hoping to find some trace of the hospital's final days. Among the water-damaged files and decaying folders, she found a tattered notebook labeled Dr. H.M. Loring. The entries detailed patient treatments, but quickly descended into erratic ramblings. One passage read, "The serum works. It revives, but they come back wrong. Too much rage, not enough reason." Chapter 3. Whispers of the Past. Emma couldn't shake the sense that she was being watched. Shadows flickered just outside her periphery, and the temperature seemed to drop with every step she took toward the east wing. Her phone lost signal near the sealed corridor. A metal gate, chained and padlocked, blocked the way. Strange symbols were etched into the walls around it, symbols she didn't recognize. That night, she set up camp in the old maternity ward. Her camera picked up whispers, barely audible murmurs in the dead of night. Reviewing the footage, Emma caught a figure standing at the end of the hallway, its outline faint but unmistakable. She hadn't seen anyone when filming. Her skin prickled. Chapter 4. The Sealed Wing. Determined, Emma returned to the gate with bolt cutters. The chains snapped with effort, the sound reverberating through the silent hospital. The air inside the sealed wing was stagnant, almost suffocating. Dust hung thick in the air. Along the hallway were doors with names scratched out, each room more disturbing than the last, walls smeared with old blood, furniture overturned. Restraints still buckled to rusting beds. In the central chamber, she found what looked like a lab. Beakers and vials littered the counters. A film reel sat beside a rusted projector. With trembling hands, Emma turned it on. The footage showed patients convulsing, screaming, strapped to gurneys while men in lab coats injected them with something dark and viscous. One patient's eyes turned pitch black before the film abruptly ended. Chapter 5. The Truth Uncovered. Emma's research uncovered the hospital's dark secret, Project Revenant. In the late 60s, a covert government-backed experiment aimed to reanimate brain-dead soldiers, creating perfect soldiers. The experiments moved to St. Augustine's after public outcry shut down the original site. Dr. Loring had volunteered his hospital under the guise of funding support, but the project failed. Reanimated patients suffered violent psychosis, attacking staff and fellow patients. Official records were scrubbed, survivors were silenced, and the facility was shut down. Emma's notebook entries matched the timeline. It was all real. Chapter 6. Awakening the Darkness. As Emma documented her findings, something stirred. She awoke one night to find her camp torn apart. Her camera was broken. Handprints small, like a child's, covered the walls in soot. Whispers turned to voices. "Help us," they said. "Free us." Driven by both fear and compassion, Emma descended into the basement, where she found the morgue. Inside, dozens of body drawers were ripped open. Scraps of patient clothing and ID tags lay scattered. She felt an overwhelming presence. A voice boomed in her mind, You brought light to our prison. Chapter 7. Escape and Revelation. Emma fled the hospital, barely escaping as the walls trembled and collapsed behind her. She didn't stop until she reached town. Locals who once dismissed her now listened in stunned silence as she presented her findings. The footage, the notebook, the symbols, all real. Paranormal experts descended on St. Augustine's ruins, confirming electromagnetic anomalies and unexplained phenomena. Emma's story went viral. She published a documentary titled The Revenants of St. Augustine, exposing the government's crimes and honoring the victims. But she never returned to the hospital. Some nights, she still heard the whispers, and deep beneath the ruins, something waits, something that remembers. Chapter 8. The Return. 2 years later, Emma received a package with no return address. Inside was a VHS tape and a key. The label read, "For your eyes only, Loring." Despite every instinct telling her to destroy it, curiosity won. The tape showed footage she'd never filmed her walking the halls of St. Augustine's, whispering in tongues, eyes glazed over. Behind her, shadowy figures moved. Disturbed and driven by an irresistible pull, Emma returned to the hospital site. The ruins were overgrown, the ground cracked open. With the key, she found a hidden door beneath the rubble, leading to an intact underground facility. Chapter 9. The Last Experiment. The underground lab was perfectly preserved, untouched by time. Flickering lights revealed rows of tanks, each holding grotesque forms suspended in fluid. Files confirmed what Emma feared. The experiments never ended. They had been moved underground. A figure emerged from the shadows. Dr. Loring, impossibly alive, unchanged. "We've been waiting for you, Emma. Your blood holds the missing component." Emma tried to flee, but was captured. They restrained her, prepared a syringe. But as they injected her, everything went black. Chapter 10. Legacy. Emma woke in her apartment, days later. No wounds, no sign of abduction. But her reflection flickered, her eyes flashing black for a moment. Her dreams were filled with whispers, with memories not her own. She released the footage, the documents, the truth. Then she vanished. St. Augustine's remains buried. But some nights, people say they see lights in the forest, hear voices, feel watched. And somewhere out there, Emma walks, still changed, haunted, no longer fully herself. The past isn't dead. It's waiting.